Hello and welcome. My name is Amy, and today I'm going to take you through a really short 15-minute high-intensity interval workout, but we are going to stay together for about 30 minutes because we're going to follow that up with a nice long stretch. Okay, so make sure you have space to move around. If you have a mat, by all means, you can use mat. If you have a set of gliding discs, okay, like so, or there's other variations of it, or if you have dishcloths or face cloths or towels or whatever that you can use, small bits of towel that you can use on a hard surface, or on a carpeted surface you can use bits of cardboard just to allow the foot to glide. You do not need to have them for this workout, okay? I'm going to show you both, but you don't have to, okay? So for higher intensity intervals, okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to warm up, and then I'm going to take your heart rate and we're going to bring it up, and then we're going to follow it with an exercise that should allow it to come down just a little bit, and then we're going to bring it right back up, comes down just a little bit, so we get these higher peaks and valleys. We do not want to stay at these high intensities for long periods of time and repeatedly, like if you don't want to be training in that intensity multiple days, or I should say like 5 days a week, unless it's for a specific purpose, like you're an endurance athlete, or an elite athlete, I should say, because it's actually not good for you. It keeps those cortisol levels elevated for longer than we want them to be elevated, and that's that stress hormone. So we do want to allow some lower intensity days within our week as we're exercising, so we don't want to always be like high intensity, high intensity, high intensity, okay? If you have questions about that, you can always message me. I will do my best to answer you, okay? No, I will answer you, and I will do my best to provide you with the appropriate information, and if I can't, I will find it, and I will send it to you. With that being said, let me turn on my mic. Test, test. I have a new windscreen, so hopefully it should be a little bit better. And we're going to test our volume, our music. There we go. Okay, I have my handy dandy little cheat sheet here, and I'm going to open up my timer. We're going to get warmed up first, okay? All right, so make sure you have space, and we're just going to roll those shoulders. All right, that music is still pretty quiet. There we go. And roll. Good, you do not need your mat yet. In fact, I'm going to get rid of mine right now. Good, I want you to bring those feet wide, okay? Toes are going to point forward, all right? So you bring them as wide as you can. They're wider than your hips or your shoulders, all right? You're going to take those arms out. Palms are up. And you're going to bring them overhead and then press down and up and press down. Now this time, when you're going to come down, you're just going to come down with a flat back as far as you can. Good, and press up. Belly nice and tight. Your bum has to shift back and up. I'm not going all the way, okay? Because we're moving a little bit faster. And up, all right, from the side, my back is long. I use my belly to help bring me up. Good. Now stay down. You're gonna shift and center, shift and center. Now, if you need to widen those toes, you can. I'm going to do my best not to move to the beat. Good. Now, you're gonna reach and center, reach. We're not necessarily trying to elevate the heart rate with this. This is just to get those joints ready, nice and lubricated, get some blood pumping. Now stand up more and reach. Bring those arms up. Now if you cannot touch your toes, and that's where you go, or that's where you go, that's fine. I just need you to feel some opening through those hips and that groin. I want those arms up. Okay, one more way. One more each way. Good. Come on, bring those feet together. Still slightly wider than hip width. Toes are out slightly if you want. And you're just gonna squat for me. So you're gonna down and up. Good. Make sure that butt goes back, like you're trying to reach it for a chair. All right? But the chair's not way back here. Right? The squat comes from the hip. It goes hip, knee, ankle. That was just me slowing it down to show you. You keep squatting. Chest is up. 4, 3, I'm counting, I know. 2, all right, we're gonna just lunge it back. You're gonna lunge it back and up. Lunge and up. Now when we lunge, most of the weight is on that front foot, okay? This is a reverse lunge, all right? So I'm not stopping and going center and then going down. I got like 80 to 70% on that front leg, and I'm stepping back and up. From the front, you're still lunging. Woo! Make sure that knee and toe are in line, and that this foot is not coming behind. Straight out, we're not doing a curtsy. Good. Other side. Go back. So try a couple first. See how you're feeling. Good. And then start to bring in your technique up. Now this should bring up the heart rate a little bit. Bring a little bit more heat. My heat turned on. Blast the heat. You'll hear that a lot through my videos. Good. Good. Keep going. Remember, most of the weight. Good. Arms come up, and you're just gonna allow them to slap. Okay, you know, like when you're a kid, you're like, when are we going? Right? Just let them flop. Good. Big shoulder rolls, or pardon me, big arm circles. All right. I do need to bring that heart rate up just a little bit. So I want you to march, okay? Because we're gonna jump straight into it. And I can't have you like here with your heart rate for your warm up and try and bring it here. Let's try and bring it up here before I bring it up here, okay? So you're gonna march and you're gonna come with arms. Or you can do a light jog, okay? All right, you keep bringing that heart rate up. I've already filled the class already because I'm a little bit sweaty. So my body is warm, so I need you to march, okay? The first 2 exercises are gonna be those bum kicks or the heels up, all right? So you'll have, you keep marching or jogging. You're gonna be here or you're gonna be here with a slight lean forward, trying to get those heels as close to the bum as possible, okay? You're gonna do that, do that for 30 seconds, all right? Then you're gonna do those lunges that we did in the warm-up. The option is to use your gliding disc to reach back and up, okay? I will talk you through how to use, for your cueing for that, if you choose. You only need one, all right? Those are the 2 exercises. We do bum kicks, one leg, bum kicks, other leg. Then we do it again, all right? So make sure if you're using that gliding disc, it's not underneath your feet when you go to do your bum kicks. We got a 10-second lead in, and then we're gonna get going. Get ready to get breathless. Ready? Oh, I lied. We only do them once each side. Exercise. So, I was debating on twice. Then I'm like, they might never actually try and want to do any videos with me ever again, or talk to me. Okay, so there's that slight lean. Your heels are coming back, right? Maybe you're here, all right? As big as the arms go is what's gonna help bring up that heart rate. Good. You only have 7 seconds to transition. That allows you to catch your breath. Not really. Grab your equipment, if you're using it, and lunge back. So down and up. I don't care how many with this one. I want technique. So if you're on that gliding disc, you're reaching far. If not, you're just lunging back, pressing into that front leg, okay? You pick whichever you want. Press through that full foot. Okay, not just the heel, and not just toe. Remember to stand up. Train your body to stand up. Good. Second set. It's only 15 minutes, okay? So it's gonna come up high and it's gonna be fast. You might be like, this isn't so bad, Amy. Don't worry. If you've ever trained with me before, you know I like jump squats. Preview. Come on. Pump those arms. Come on. Go, go. Breathe. Breathe. Push, 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 push. Good. Right away. Other leg. I'll do slow face this way. Okay? So it's back and up. Now when I lunge, I'm not resting my torso on my leg. And in fact, my lower leg and my torso will be parallel when I come back, okay? All right? Knee in the same direction as that toe. Leg goes straight back. Rest. I like my wrists. Good. Rest. And up. Good. Rest. Rest. That is the lunge for 1, okay? All right. Keep moving. Not so bad, right? That's the point. You got about 30 seconds here. Okay? Next one, we're going to be doing some lateral lunges. Okay? So, you can be wide and just lunge and lunge. Okay? You are welcome to step out, or you can use that gliding disc. But what you have to make sure, wherever you are, the hip, knee, and ankle are in line, and it's not pushing out from that hip, wherever you are, okay? Pressing straight into that leg to come all the way up. And jump squats, which is where we're gonna start. All right, you ready? That was more than 30 seconds. Ready? Let's go. So you can squat, or you can jump squat. Now, you can go with a more steady pace, or you can go with power, and then land, and then land. But what you have to do is make sure wherever you land through the legs, not here. Let the muscles and the joints absorb your body weight. Oh. Woo. If you want, I'm going to show them all. Starting with your glider. Out and up. Okay, goes out. Hip, knee, ankle alignment, okay? Or I come down and up. Down and up. Or stationary. Either one, okay? You pick. All right? This one requires more power to push off. This one, more balance. Okay? Good. Woo. Second set of jump squats. I told you they were fast. Are you ready? I'll move this way. Okay, let's go. So what are you gonna do? Maybe you're just gonna squat. Maybe you're gonna rhythmic. Maybe you're gonna power. Up. Now take that pause. Requires more muscle strength and power, because that stretch reflex is gone. All right? Oh, I feel like I have 50 pounds strapped to each leg. Come on. All right. Other set. Feeling the effects yet? Here we go. Out and up. There's your glider. Stepping out and up. Right? Or you're stationary. You choose. Stationary is good if you're not used to the move. Okay? Or if you have some knee stability you need to work on, you're going to contact me. And you're going to stay in the stationary. Good. And rest. Doesn't really sound like my new windscreen's doing much. Okay, so that's our big cardio element. Now I'm gonna get you to move fast. Then we'll move down to core stuff. 2 moves. You are gonna lay down and you are gonna get up as quick as possible. Okay? Make sure you can answer me before you come down. If you can't answer me, you keep marching in place until you can, okay? So what you're gonna do, or I call it swim surf. You're gonna swim, 2, 3, 4. Hands on, step, or you're gonna jump up into that low squat. Okay, I got 15 seconds to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then down, low squat. Ready? Come down to the ground with me. These get hurt pretty fast. Keep looking at the floor, arms extended, and swim, 2, 3, 4, hands down, and low. Get down. Here's your option. 3, 4, step up, stand up, down, down. You pick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Low and down. 1, 2, 3. Belly in. Pull that belly button into that spine. And down. 1, 2. You're gonna stay in this belly. Extend arms and legs overhead, looking at the ground. Lift opposite leg and opposite arm. So squeeze and down. Now listen. This is not high. Okay? I don't want you arching. I want you to pull that belly button way in, and with it pulled in, you're gonna lift the opposite arm and opposite leg as high as you can, which probably isn't very high. Good, down. Good. Breathe. Are you ready to swim? Let's go. Oh no, wait. Let's rest. Sit back to a child's pose if you need. Let's go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump up. All right. And down. 1, 2. Remember, what's your option? I step up. You can stay in that squat and step down. 1, 2, 3. You have to be able to get up quickly in life, or at least get up off the floor. Okay? If you're like me, you got very active kids. They keep me on my toes. So I have to be able to move quickly. Arms extended, thumbs to the ceiling, looking at the ground. Now, if you feel your belly button pushing into the floor, because your core is getting tired, I want you just to lift one leg and rest your head, okay? But the lift comes from the hip, not the knee. All right, so you should still feel those hips in contact with the floor. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Good. All right. Whew. 15 minutes seems to be taking forever and going really quick. All right. What do we got? We got one more. Okay, right. So, we're going to be doing some planks, and there's lots of options for planks, okay? I will show you them all. The next one is a walkout, and then we're going to plank. So if you know your inchworm, you can do your regular inchworm, all right? Walking your hands down, coming out into that plank or that downward dog, coming up, standing all the way up. Where's your option with your gliders? Here it is. You're going to be standing on the gliders. You're going to walk down. You're going to come out to that plank. You're going to pull your knees in, push them out. Do not let the feet slide, and then come up all the way. Second exercise is your plank. I'm going to show you both. I'll show you with the gliders first, okay? Walking down, come out. It's not about speed. Pull the knees in, let them out, come all the way up. If you need to bend your knees, then do so. Where's your regular walkout? Here it is. If you're in the downward or plank position, I didn't take my feet off my gliders. My feet went split out. Keep going. So this is about core strength. Strength through the full body and stability in those arms. Coming down for your plank. Knees or toes, forearm plank. Elbows underneath your knees, or your elbows are underneath your shoulder, palms are apart. From your knees, you're here. From your toes, your toes are tucked. Notice I'm not up here. Make sure you're in a line, looking at the floor in front of you. So not above, and not at your belly button, your toes. Shoulders are nice and neutral. I'm not dropping, and I'm not arching. Belly pulled in. How you doing? You shaking? I am. Good. All right. Ready? Here we go. Down. Pull in, out, up. Or just do your regular walkout. It's up to you. Okay? I guess you could also do single knee drives, right? You can come here. If you wanted, it's up to you. Come down. Or just your regular walkouts. Belly nice and tight. Stand up. Come down. Let's get ready for that plank. We're just gonna hold. Do not clasp your hands. Elbows under shoulders. Breathe. Now if it's too much, you come down to your knees. If this is too much, then you just rest for a second and come back. If toes are too much, knees is not enough, extend the leg. All right? You pick, but you gotta breathe. It's hard to breathe and talk and pull that belly button in. You're done. Yeah, that's it. You want to run it through again, turn it into a half an hour, then you pause here, or pardon me, rewind from here, but then finish the video so that we can do a stretch together, okay? Deal? Deal. All right, what we're gonna do is I'm going to stop my timer. We are not gonna stretch to this, don't worry. I just gotta find it. Where is it? There we go. Oh, it's loud. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, you shouldn't be too heavy on the breath. If you're still a little heavy on the breath, then just come into a nice, comfortable seated position. And in fact, just come to a nice, comfortable seated position. All right. You don't need those anymore. You can lay out your mat or move into your carpeted area if you have a carpeted area. I have a carpeted area behind my camera. Every once in a while, I like to go out there and stretch. Sometimes I might doze off when I'm doing that. I have. My kids come down and they're like, "Are you okay, Mom?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, Mom's just really tired." Good. So I know this position can be very challenging for some people. So listen to your body and to me. If this is hard to sit nice and tall, okay, and not rounding and being able to breathe, that's the big thing. You gotta be able to breathe in this position. Then you're gonna bend your legs, and you're gonna bend them until you can sit somewhat comfortably, but breathe deep. So in through your nose, and out through your mouth, okay? We don't want to feel any restriction when we're stretching or exercising. We want to be able to breathe deeply, as deep as we can. So you're gonna grab your toes. Maybe this is it. Maybe you're like, "Amy, this is all I can muster today," then that's fine, okay? If it's really uncomfortable and you need to bend one leg, okay, and just do one at a time, I'm okay with that too. You're gonna grab your toes and you're just gonna let your legs straighten as much as they can. Maybe they straighten all the way, maybe they don't, okay? My husband does yoga sometimes. We have a video that he likes. And he'll come up to me, it's been a while since he's done this, but he'll come up to me like, "Oh, it's so hard." I'm like, "Really? Did you feel a stretch at all?" He's like, "Well, not really." Then he would describe a pose and he'd be like, "Well, then if you can't do it, then just back off." And he'd be like, "Well, the instructor does it that way." Doesn't matter what the instructor does. They guide you through it, but you also have to listen to your body and only move as far as you can, okay? Good. So hopefully you switch legs. All right, as I chatted through that. We're holding this nice and long, okay? So as you hold a stretch a little bit longer, you might start to notice that you're gonna feel it in different areas as different muscles start to let go. So maybe you feel this a lot in your hamstrings. And all of a sudden your hamstrings start to relax. You're like, "Oh, I actually start to feel it in my low back, or my calf, or your upper back, or your head, your neck." All right, so staying wherever you are. So maybe you're up here. Now I just want you to let go. Okay, now this is one I always find feels weird. Okay, so you're gonna just let, I'll turn it this side. You're just gonna let your body do everything that we tell you not to do. Okay, so allow the feet to fall apart. Allow the head to hang, allow the back to round. Let the head hang. Now if you're like me, I feel this way up into my forehead. And that's because I carry a lot of tension in my neck sometimes. Sometimes we just need to let it all go. Right? Good. Coming on up. We're going to come down onto the floor and onto your belly. Okay? Now, we're going to open up to the front of the body, and then there'll be the option to, I know some people are uncomfortable on their bellies, that you can turn onto your side for our next few stretches, okay? So just like the plank, you want your elbows underneath your shoulders, your palms are down, and you're just gonna lift. Now, if you feel any compression in that back, okay, I want you to use your palms and your forearm to almost pull you forward without actually pulling you forward. And then if it's still too much, you're just gonna come down a little bit lower, all right? And breathe. Allow the shoulders to fall down the back. And looking straight out in front of you, okay? So not down here, not way up here. If you need to turn and see me, that's fine. But then come back. Trying to get those hips onto the floor. If you can come up higher, by all means. Don't wait for me to tell you. Good. Lower yourself down. Now this is where you can roll onto your side, okay? If you want to come onto your side to stretch your quad, then do so. If not, you're going to come with me. You're going to rest your head on your fist or the back of your hand or your cheek on the floor. And you're just going to reach for one foot, okay? For the laces or the back of the shoe. Now what I need you to make sure you're doing is you're reaching with the same arm, so not cross body. And you're bringing that heel as close as you can, all right? Now what I want you to try and do is push your hips, both of them, into the floor, and then relax them. So you're like, I don't know how to do that, Amy. Squeeze your butt cheeks together, okay? Like you're trying to hold in a toot or something. That will get those hips pushing into the floor. Do that a couple times each side, so like maybe 4, 6, I know that's more than a couple. And then release. If you're on one side, just flip over to the other side, okay? You don't have to be facing me for this. You can just listen to the sound of my voice. Good, I'm trying to keep my mic and my mouth away from each other so they don't get too loud. So, heel directly up to the middle of the bum, okay? Don't let it come out to the side. Right? Straight up the middle of that side. Now push your hips into the floor and release them. Push them into the floor and release them. Do about 4 more, or 3 or 2, depending on how long you want to hold it. It shouldn't be too fast. Okay, so if you're doing more than 6, you're going too fast. Good. And release. Now, if you were already on your side, you're going to stay on your side. If you weren't, you're going to come onto your side. You're going to stack your legs, making sure that the bottoms of your feet are really in line with your bum, okay? So they're not way back here, they're not way up here. We're going to do some spinal rotation, and you might get some stretch into the chest as well. So the bottom arm is just going to rest on the floor, palm facing up. Your head's just going to relax. You're going to stack your hands. Now, the goal is to keep the hips pointing forward as much as possible, okay? This is a thoracic spine. Oh, twist, and I'm too close to my wall. That's okay, I'll just bend my wrist. Good, and you're just going to open. And I'm trying to keep my hips facing forward. Oh, I gotta shift. So, when you're here, I just want you to hang out here for a quick second. Hips forward. You're not necessarily going to get your both shoulders on the floor, and if you can, all the power to you. You might feel this in your chest, but this is a nice spinal rotation. And come back, nice and controlled. Good. Open up again. And each time, breathing deeper. Good. Come back. I know that first one we held for a little bit, so we are going to hold this next one. Now this time what I want you to do, when you're in this position, maybe take note. Are you opening up a little more? I know I am. Now that breath, I don't know if you can see, I want you to try and get that top rib to inflate, okay? So when I go in, okay, so that you're pushing that breath past the rotation point. Deep into the belly, feel the ribs expand. Good. Now, I'm going to change position, but I'm going to take you through this first, okay? As we transition, you're going to roll all the way onto your back, okay? Ponytail's too high. Okay, and you're going to do that figure 4, so that one heel is outside of the knee on the bent leg, okay? This might be enough, and you can push on that inner thigh, and that might be enough for you. Or you can reach through for the back of that hamstring, maybe the shin, but not the back of the knee, okay? Shoulders and head are on the floor. If you can take that elbow, pressing it on the inner thigh of the bent leg, or the figure 4 leg, and push it away more. Maybe it's too much, maybe pulling is enough. And like I said, you don't have to have your leg lifted. Good, and release gently. Switch sides. So again, maybe this is enough, right? Maybe this is all you need, and you can feel the opening of the hip. If not, and you want to bring it in a little bit more, and each side is different. My right side is always so much tighter, no matter what I do. Good. So again, you can press that elbow on the inner thigh. If you feel if it feels weird, make sure that foot is active. Okay, bringing that toe to that shin can just bring some more stability into that knee and into the hip. Head and shoulders on the floor. Breathing. I never check the time, but I'm sure we got outside. Good, release that foot. Bring your feet together. Let the the knees just fall open. We will do the thoracic spine opener on the other side, okay? So maybe this is enough. Maybe you're gonna press more on the inner thigh. What I want you to think about is that when I ask you to lift your hands over your head, you can go ahead and do that right away if you want. Now, I have not the greatest shoulder range of motion, okay? So what happens with me is that my lower ribs, and I can feel my back arching off the ground, and my lower ribs pop up. So I really have to focus on not forcing my low back into the floor, because that's not natural for my spine, but just to not let that arch happen and not let those ribs pop up, okay? And then relax your shoulders, if you can. Now, if arms overhead is too much, you can bring them to stick up arms, okay? Or let them out on the T, whatever is comfortable for you. You can close your eyes if you want. I promise you we are almost done. Wherever your arms are, gently bring them back down to your legs. If you need to help them come back up, then you can help them come back up. You are just going to go to the other side. I'm going to come up and rotate so that I'm still facing you. Okay, so lining up those heels with the bum, shoulders in line with your hips, bottom arm, palm facing up. Top arm, shoulders are stacked, head is relaxed. And you're just going to open. Oh, and I have to shift again. Good, so you're just going to open. Remember, it's not the goal to get those shoulders on the ground. The goal is to keep those hips stacked, one over the other. And breathe deep. And then come back. Good, again, open up. When you're open, breathe deep. Okay? And through the nose, not through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Good, come back. You're going to do one more, and this one I'm going to hold a little bit longer. And this is where I want you to notice. Are you opening up? Maybe not. Maybe not. Depends on how much tension you have. But really try and get those breaths in deep, okay? So into the nose. Right, into the nose, into the mouth. This is one of my favorites. And I don't know about you, I can feel that open shoulder getting closer and closer. Good, very gently and with control, you're going to bring that top arm back to meet that bottom arm. You're going to keep rolling over to all fours. Bring those toes together, those knees either together or as wide as you want. 2 more, okay? We're going to anchor those hands. And now, what I want you to do when you sit that bum back, the goal is not to get the bum to the heels yet. I want you to keep those hands anchored and let the head and chest fall through. Okay, opening up to the chest, maybe opening up to those lats, depending on where you are the tightest. But you're not shrugging the shoulders, okay? So try and let the shoulder blades be down, but allow them to rotate in that position. And you're like, what? I'll show you in a minute. Good. Now, let the heels come back, so allow the hands to slide along the floor or move them back. Try and keep some stretch in the back. I really like a child's pose with a stretch in the back. If you want it more passive, then you're just going to relax your hands and let the hips fall. That's up to you. Okay. And then breathe. Remember to breathe deep into the belly and into the back. If in a child's pose you feel really restricted in your breathing, you can bring those knees wider or just come up onto your forearms and give your abdomen and your chest some more space. Okay, this will help open through those glutes and hips as well. Good. Gently walk your hands back to your knees and then come to a seated position. I said I was going to explain to you very quickly. So your shoulder blade, sorry, my hair is all messed up. Your shoulder blade, when your arm moves, it does this. Okay, so when we want you to bring them down, we don't want you to, and you're doing a motion like this, we don't want you to actually hold them and not allow them to rotate. What we want you to not do is lift them, right? So we don't want them elevated. We want them to still rotate as they move, but if you hold it down, so don't let it rotate, that's where the injury happens, right? So there's a difference between the shoulder doing this and this, right? So that's me doing this and then doing this, when really all I wanted is to do the rotation, right? Without the shrug. Or you can rotate and shrug, right? You can do this and then lift. We don't want that. We just want it to naturally rotate. You're like, okay, give me whatever. Anyways, big inhale up. If this is uncomfortable, you can do this kneeling or standing. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. I could talk forever about this kind of stuff. And there you have it. So you had your 15 minutes of high intensity, which you are welcome to double it up and do 30 minutes, followed by a nice long stretch. If you have any questions, by all means, send me a message, send me an email, what have you. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you again.